Hi everybody, Charles here. Welcome to Backroads Living. In today's video, we're going to be talking about eating on the cheap. We're going to discuss some meals that cost $1 or less to make. These are mostly things that are sustainable as well, so hang in there and we'll get right on into it. Hey everybody, in today's economy it's getting tougher and tougher for folks to purchase groceries and put back foods for themselves, and we just did a video yesterday about how Wales was under a Tier 4 lockdown. We find that many states in our own country here are under lockdowns and very strenuous lockdowns. There are several other countries around the world who are following suit with lockdowns, and it's just really putting people in a very hard position. And many people are having to rely strictly on their pantries because the shops are shut down, and the grocery stores are going to run out of food again if they haven't already. You know, people are just struggling. Our unemployment is just terrible here. The small businesses have been not only just crippled but crushed here in the United States. The foreign governments are crushing their own countries with these lockdowns, and the businesses there are suffering tremendously just like they are here. And the small businessman, the small businesswoman are going to become extinct, and the people are going to become very dependent on the government, which is not a good thing. So it's very important that you prep, and it's very important that you have food put back in your pantry that you can eat. And that's what we're wanting to talk about today, is some of the less expensive foods that you can purchase, that you can make a meal out of, that will you know, help sustain you in times of trouble. And we are coming into times of trouble. It's just that simple. People won't rise up against this thing in large masses, and it's just not gonna change. I really don't think it is. I wish it would, and I wish I was wrong. But I just don't. I don't foresee a change anytime soon. It's kind of like the predator. Once it tastes blood, it's just almost impossible to turn them back. And that's kind of the way this is. I think they see the end, and they see it in a favorable way. And it's going to be really difficult to change any of it. So let's look at some things that we can eat, some things we can get and put in our pantry if we don't already have it there. If you're new to prepping, or you know, not been prepping very long, I would encourage you to go over this list as we do today, and put some of this stuff in your pantry if you don't already have it, because many of these things are things that have a long shelf life. So what are you going to do in that emergency? Sometimes you don't have time to call the police. In those instances, you have to take matters into your own hands. Show that intruder your stunning lipstick. And send him home crying to his mama. To get these stunning lipsticks and our flashlight stun weapons, hop on over to BackroadsLivingFinds.com. You might want to get them before they get gone. And not only do they have a long shelf life, but they're healthy, or they will help sustain you as you eat them. And the first one is just peanut butter and crackers. Peanut butter is full of protein. I've eaten peanut butter and crackers all my life. And you can buy a jar of peanut butter for $2 or $3 depending on the size of it. And when you fix it with crackers, we buy a box of crackers here for like $1. And there's 4 packages of crackers in it. Don't know how many is in it. It looks like it's probably 50 or more. So when you fix peanut butter and crackers, you can fix you a meal very easily. A get-through meal between meals, like a snack or something like that, for way under $1. And it lasts you a long time. Peanut butter has a long shelf life, even after it's open. We opened a jar of peanut butter here back in just a couple of months ago. We've gone through it, of course, but it had a 2019 expiration date, I think maybe June or July, and it tastes just like it, you know, just like it just come off the shelf and had a good date on it. This stuff don't go bad unless it's opened and left for a while. So always check your foods. Always check your canned food, your foods in jars and things like that. Always check them before you throw them out. Don't throw them out just because the date's expired. Always taste test them and smell them to see what they smell and taste like before you get rid of them. Chances are the most of that is still going to be good, and you can continue to use it and eat it until it's gone. The next thing is oatmeal. We buy a lot of oatmeal here, and oatmeal will fill you up. It may not be the most healthy food in the world, but when you're trying to cut corners and have short, maybe some short meals in between your large meal, things like oatmeal will tide you over. You know, we eat it a lot for breakfast here, and it does us very well until our lunch. And I know a lot of people are already starting to cut back to one meal a day, and just doing filler meals or filler snacks in between, you know, breakfast and the meal, and then that main meal and bedtime. And oatmeal is one of those things that goes a long way. You don't have to fix a whole lot of it. You could fix one serving at a time, and it really is a really good feel in there, and it's inexpensive per bowl, way under $1 a bowl for oatmeal. So the next thing is we talked about peanut butter a minute ago. Let's talk about peanut butter again. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You know, you can buy your peanut butter at the Dollar Tree. They have good peanut butter. I've ate their peanut butter. You can also buy their jelly there at the Dollar Tree. I've ate their jelly from the Dollar Tree, and it's really good also. A lot of times they'll have loaves of bread for $1 there, and if not, you can always find the Walmart brand bread for under $1 on the bread rack at Walmart. And if not, you can bake your own, and you can still have it for under $1. But you can have peanut butter and jelly sandwich for under $1, and boy, that goes a long way when you're hungry, I tell you. And you can stretch your money by eating these kind of things and putting these things in your pantries. Beans. Now, you know, you can make your own bread for like burritos, for tacos, and that kind of thing. But if you've got beans, you can make just bean burritos. Just, you know, bake your beans. Make your own beans there, cook your beans, and you can make bean burritos. Throw whatever you've got in your fridge in it, leftover, whatever your leftovers are there. You can make a terrific bean burrito with that kind of stuff, and guarantee you'll have less than $1 per serving in that also. You can make several bean burritos out of a can of beans, or even if you make your own beans. So there again is a very inexpensive meal. Bean burritos, you can, like I said, you can make your own burrito wrap or taco wrap, whatever you want to call it. They're not hard to make either. So, and listen, if you've got a good recipe for that, any of this stuff that I mentioned, like the bean burritos and how you make your own burrito wraps and taco wraps, be sure and drop a recipe to us in the link below. We've got our email down there. You can send it to our email, and I'll be glad to post it on our website where others can benefit from it. They can get on there and print off the recipes and enjoy things like that. So we love to share those kind of things. We've got several recipes on there already that you folks have seen us. So continue to keep that in mind and keep sending us those easy recipes right to your pantry, because we love sharing those for others to benefit. Another thing is that you can get, you can buy this and make your own, or you can get it right off the shelf in a box, is macaroni and cheese. Those boxes of macaroni and cheese that you buy, it'll make you a dish of macaroni cheaper than, for less than $1. More than one people can eat out of a box, and it goes a long way. So those kind of things, the pastas, any of those pastas, get the pastas and put them back. Man, they go a long way. They just do. And there's always more than one way to make this stuff when it comes to the things that I mentioned here that you cook. There's several ways to prepare these things, and if you'll get online and look around a little bit, you can find several ways to make bean burritos, several ways to make mac and cheese, just all kinds of good things there. And then another thing is canned soup with toast or crackers. And I was kind of surprised the other day when I did my video on our Walmart haul, which you might want to go watch that one. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. But I showed that beef stew from Walmart, the Good Value brand, and several people mentioned that they like that just as well also, and I really like that soup. And someone said that when they make that soup, that they fix rice with it, and they'll put some carrots in with it. They'll open a can of carrots and put a can of carrots in with the beef stew and heat it like that, and then when it's ready, they just pour it over the rice, and it makes a wonderful meal. And you know, a can of that would feed 2 or 3 people, and there you be for less than $1 for a real nice meal like that. And it's got meat in it and vegetables and things like that and rice, just an all-around good meal for $1. And you can also, you know, the canned soups and stuff like that, like tomato soup and chicken noodle soup, and most any of that soup, you can find it on sale for $1 or less. And if not, a whole lot of it you'll find at the Dollar Tree for $1. So those things are, you know, just dollar meals, and you need to have these things in your pantry. You need to be stocking up on these things that have a long shelf life on them. Many of these canned foods will have a 2-year extended date. And like I said, even though it shows a expiration date or a use by date on it of like 2021 or 2022, they'll be good for, you know, a year or 2 after that. Just don't throw them away. I always check them and taste them and smell them and make sure they taste and smell good, and they'll still be good, okay? The next thing is, well, another peanut butter favorite of mine. This is a wonderful snack in between your meals. If you're going between, like I said earlier, if you're trying to eat 1 meal a day or just 2 meals a day and you need a snack in between to get you through that's inexpensive, try apples with peanut butter if you've not tried that yet. Apples has a good long shelf life when you buy them. And if you'll cut your apple up and get you a spoon of peanut butter, man, that goes a long way. And it sure is good too. I've eaten boatloads of apple and peanut butter. I really love peanut butter. Eggs and toast. Now, eggs and toast is really good. You can make eggs any way you want to make them. You can fry them, you can scramble them, you can poach them. You can do whatever you want to with them, boil them, it doesn't matter. But now, I love fried eggs with toast. That's my favorite. And that's a good meal. It's a filling meal, and the toast doesn't cost that much. You buy a loaf of bread for like $1 or less in most cases, if you get the, you know, the generic brand. And I don't know how many slices in it. I've never counted them. Probably what, 30 or so in most loaves, 25 or 30. And you can fix you a piece of toast or two with a couple of eggs, and you've got a meal for under $1. So there again, a good tasting meal for under $1. Tuna, you can buy a can of tuna for under $1. Make you a tuna sandwich. You can get a little bit of relish, a little bit of mayonnaise, a little bit of mustard, cut up an onion, and always keep your extra, but cut that stuff up and make you a tuna salad out of it. And it's really good on either toast or just regular bread. Eat it with crackers. Either way, it's still, you're going to be under $1 for a good meal to fill in between your main meals. And, you know, sometimes we make that our main meal. We'll get some chips or something to eat with it on the side, and we'll make some tuna salad and have that for our regular meal. So tuna's good for you and inexpensive. And potato soup. Now, this is something I'd like for you folks to give me a shout out on. I've ate potato soup all my life, especially when I was a kid. My mother made it many, many, many times, and I didn't get her recipe, and I should have. But and it may be somewhere that I can find at some point, I don't know. But I'd like for some of y'all to send me a recipe for a good, simple bowl of potato soup. Just simple potato soup, nothing fancy. that's the way I liked it, with just a little salt and pepper in it, and ate it with crackers or cornbread or whatever we had available at home. Most of the time it was cornbread, because again, you can make a big batch of cornbread there in a number 10 skillet and have way less than $1 serving in it, and it'll last 2 or 3 days. You keep it wrapped up good and out of the air, and it's really good with a lot of things, cornbread is. So keep that in mind too if you bake cornbread, and we've got a recipe for that on our website. We've got a lot of recipes on our website. If you want to go over and check it out, you'll find the link to our website in the description box below also. And there's where we have our prepper recipes that you folks send us. So you might want to go over there and check those out. And be sure, as I said, if you've got simple recipes that you fix out of your pantry, be sure and send them to us. We'll post them, and that way other folks can print them off and they'll have them handy when they need them, because there's going to come a time, I'm afraid, that we're not going to have such free access to the internet where we can just jump on here and go search for recipes and print them off. Good thing to do is, has already been said, would be to put you back some recipe books. The older the book, the better, because the more simple the recipes. So keep your eyes open for recipe books when you're out at the thrift stores and Goodwills and places like that. Another thing is beans and rice, just plain old beans and rice. Man, that's good. You can season them a little bit, and that's just a meal in itself. Just plain old long grain white rice or minute rice, whichever one you've got, and pork and beans. Make your own or get them out of the can. It doesn't matter. It's still going to be way under $1 a meal for that stuff. And those are all things that you can stick in the refrigerator and enjoy for days on end. And the beans and rice is things you can make bean burritos out of. You can add that to burritos with other things, and just make different dishes out of them with a little bit of cheese and things like that. You'll be amazed what you can do with leftovers if you just apply yourself to use them. Don't throw the food out. Save it to eat the next day or two also. It's going to come a time that I'm afraid that we're going to be needing to do that more than people care to admit. Preserve your food as much as you can, and stack it to the ceiling. I keep saying that. Stack your food to the ceiling. Share this video with your friends. Folks, people are going to need this. People are going to need to know how to eat and how to preserve food and how to put stuff back that they can buy right now and have food that's going to last them for a while, and how, have leftovers out of it so they can eat 2 or 3 days on one meal, one meal that's been fixed. It's just, times are going to get hard. I'm just afraid they are. Like I say many times, I hope and pray I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. So if I'm wrong, then I'll have some extra food put back that I bought cheaper, that I can buy it next year. But anyway, let's move on. Pancakes. Now that's something, as the old saying is, will stick to your ribs. We make pancakes here fairly often, and we enjoy them. And you don't have to have a pancake mix to make pancakes. You can make your own with flour. People made pancakes for hundreds of years before they ever come up with a pancake mix in a box. You can make your own. We've got recipes for pancakes on our website also. So, lots of stuff over there that you can find recipes for if you want to hop over and check it out. Like I said, the link's in the description box below, or our email links down there if you've got recipes you want to send us. And we would encourage you to do that so we can share it with other people. Now, baked beans with weenies. Very inexpensive meals, just like beanie weenies you buy in a can. I've got a picture of them right here, the beanie weenies in the can. But you can make those with your own beans and hot dog weenies. You can find hot dog weenies on sale, and you get 6 or 8 to a pack of them. And you can use a large can of baked beans or pinto beans or something like that. But you make your own beans and weenies. Put a little bit of sauce in them, or something like that. Put a little soy in them, or a little bit of Worcestershire, or a little bit of whatever it might be that you like. Steak sauce on them to give them a little bit of flavor. I use a lot of onion powder. I love the way onion powder flavors food. So you could do a little something like that. Garlic in them. Doesn't matter, whatever your taste is. And that stuff goes a long way. That stuff goes a long way, and it's inexpensive per meal. You're going to have less than $1 per meal in it. You can feed 3 or 4 people on something like that. Now, here's another meal that's kind of inexpensive, is chicken and dumplings, and that goes a long way. If you don't know how to make chicken and dumplings, again, we've got a recipe on our website for chicken and dumplings, and I'm sure that there's some of you that have some wonderful chicken and dumpling recipes that you'd love to send us and you know, put it in our email down there to us. And if you do, be sure to send them. So chicken and dumplings is a delicious meal, absolutely delicious. And I can remember every time that my mother made chicken and dumplings, we rarely had leftovers in our house. There was 7 of us that ate just about every meal, and there would be a little bit of leftover stuff from time to time, but not normally. Mom would fix a big meal, and between 7 of us, buddy, we pretty much took care of it, and everybody else's plates too that didn't eat everything. My brother was constantly saying, "You gonna eat all that?" And I was always answering, "I sure am." Oh gosh, those were some good days though. We had a lot of fun. Ramen noodles, that's another good dish for under $1. I think they cost about 33 cents a piece when you buy them. We buy them in bulk when we pick them up. I have a recipe on our YouTube channel here of a batch of ramen noodle I made with some other items in it. It's one of those meals that you can just add a variety of things to, and it also makes just a great dish for under $1. I know they're probably not the most healthy thing in the world for you, but man, if you're hungry, stuff like this sure goes a long way. And the last thing, and I posted a video earlier today, a short on our homemade biscuits, is biscuits and gravy. You know, it doesn't take much to make gravy, and biscuits are very easy made, and that'll last you a long time. If you eat a meal of biscuits and gravy, that will fill you up. So those are just about 16 things that I kind of had thought of, and things that I thought might help you if you're trying to figure out what to put in your pantry. You know, things like flour and meal, you can vacuum seal that, whether it be in bags or whether it be in glass jars, and it has a tremendous shelf life to it. Pastas, once you vacuum seal them, they have a tremendous shelf life to them. Canned foods like meats and like the tunas, the peanut butter, all those kind of things, they have a tremendous shelf life to them. You can even vacuum seal crackers and give them a long extended shelf life. All this stuff we mentioned here, just about all of it can be made to last for a long time. You can freeze your apples. We freeze apples every fall. We cut up apples and freeze them every fall. You can make your own applesauce if you want to. I mean, there's just all kinds of things you can do that can cut down on the cost of your meals. And this is just a handful of things I thought of, and I hope this helps you. I hope that you've got things put back and that you're ready for what's coming, because we really are coming into some tough times. I get emails every day just about it, and I get all kinds of comments on our YouTube videos here of from people all around the world. We get people, you know, from the UK, from Wales, from Europe and England and Canada and South America. We get people commenting all the time about what's going on around the country, and all of these people are telling us that times are getting hard in their countries, and the facts are just the facts, folks. All these countries are following suit. It's just like they're in lockstep with one another. When one does something and the government says that it worked good for them, then the next one does it also. So listen, your government don't love you, but I'm here to tell you right now today that the Lord does. And if you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ, let me encourage you to know Him. Put your hope and trust in Him. Those of you that do know Him, keep the faith. Don't let these things get you down. Know that the Lord lives, and that the Lord is coming again for His people, and that He has set up a kingdom for us. And He said, if I go and prepare a place for you, I'll come again. I can hardly talk about this stuff. And I'll receive you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be also. Isn't that a wonderful promise? Isn't that so grand? How can we ever let this life take that from our sight? Once we've known him and have been known of him, there's just nothing to turn back to. It's just nothing to look back to. We pray for you. Pray that you're ready. Whether you know Jesus or not, keep prepping. Keep stocking up, because this body has to survive, okay? And keep that in mind. And our prayers are for you. Our prayers are always for you. We pray that you endure strong till the end, okay? And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, we would ask that you subscribe and like our videos. So that being said, until the next time, we'll see you in the next video.